you know, okay? Um, for right now, we're in a situation where Iraq is looking to put out their actual rate for their dinar here. If they haven't done it already while I've been on the call, I think we're looking very closely to that possibility any moment, because my understanding is two things. Number one, for their induction on Friday into the World Trade Organization, they need to have that that international rate up and actively live uh, beforehand. I don't know how far. I had thought it was 3 days before the day of their induction into the WTO. I may be wrong on that, but I've heard some really good things that this morning at around 11 o'clock Eastern Time, let's put it this way, the control of the situation for Iraq has migrated over to the Central Bank of Iraq, the CBI, where they have the control on releasing that rate and showing that rate. So that's something that is a real positive step that Iraq has done to do what they need to do to get in position to be inducted into the World Trade Organization on Friday. And that happened at 11 o'clock Eastern this morning. Now, the other thing is, in conjunction with that and the liberation of Iraq, which they've already made at least 2 or 3 announcements about, which sufficed as far as the quote-unquote announcement from Iraq, those have been made, is the celebration that is coming to follow, because they are going to celebrate the fact that they are sovereign, that they are fully liberated from ISIS within their borders, and the fact that they are basically back on the world stage as an international trading partner. Okay? And so that celebration, my understanding is, as of yesterday, my understanding is that was to begin, those celebrations were to begin tomorrow. Okay? Now, I haven't been able to confirm that tonight to know that for sure, but that was my understanding as of yesterday, is that was to begin tomorrow. In fact, they ordered in another 100, and I'm going by my memory, of course, guys. I'm going to say 160 or 70 more big screens, which I think are those Samsungs, and they might be those 100-inch diagonal big screen, flat screen TVs. I don't think they're the Jumbotrons. We knew they had 7 or 9 of the Jumbotrons in 7 different provinces. I believe it was 7 or 9 provinces in Iraq. They had those big Jumbotrons like you'd see down at Texas Stadium. And these, I believe, are additional big screens that'll be utilized throughout the country. And I think they got those in, and I believe they were putting those in place earlier. So hopefully that's going to add to their celebratory nature. And of course they'll have big time fireworks and music and actors and all kinds of personnel there to help them celebrate. So I'm excited for Iraq in that, very excited. I know that that they are probably continuing to trade that rate on the dinar. I don't know where it is right now, but I know they're probably doing that. And I know that, for example, the ZIM is continuing to be traded a little bit higher. So that's a very positive thing. We're not going to be a rate and date kind of thing. We're not doing that. But just to let you know that there's activity going on, major activity behind the scenes. And it's not just happening in other parts of the world, it's happening here too. There's quite a bit happening behind the scenes. Some of it is so sensitive, I can't talk about it at all, but it is happening. It's happening, it has been for days. But even though the so-called Intel has been very, very quiet overall in the last 2 or 3 days, it's been very quiet. We do get bits and pieces of information that come through that help us to realize. For example, we know that the exchange locations and redemption centers that we talked about on last Thursday's call are ready, have been ready since yesterday, totally ready I'm going to call it on steady high alert. They are in active status and ready to go for us. They're set. They're all ready. And they've got this thing down to a science now. They're ready to take us as soon as, and the call centers are activated. By that I mean they have the personnel to begin. Everything is all set. So whenever the time is right and the toll-free number comes out, and I'm honored to say it's still, I understand, coming to me first, which is a blessing and an honor. I'll take that and get that back out to the community as I'm indicated to, and get that out, which I believe it will be. To get it out that way, that's how it will come, okay? It'll come to listener sure of that, but he was supposed to arrive today in Hawaii and then go from Hawaii back over to Andrews Air Force Base and then to the White House by Marine One. So I believe that he may very well be there by now. I don't know that, but I'm thinking he's in by tonight. And I know that he has some meetings scheduled after he gets in. So I also know I believe we are to have very large announcements by the president tomorrow, sometime after 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. And I believe that these announcements will deal primarily with some of the trade deals that the president's been able to put together on his travels in the Far East. And I know that he's bringing quite a bit of trade value to the United States. I have some idea of what it is, and I think it's tremendous. It's really a very, very successful trip. Now, will there be an announcement, quote unquote, about the RV, the currency, the gold-backed standard, any of that? I personally don't look for an announcement here until they're ready to bring out our new currency at the banks. When they do that, I think that's when we're going to get to a gold-backed currency announcement or an asset-backed announcement. I don't think we're going to get that in the morning. However, maybe I'll be wrong. Maybe I'll be fooled. But I will say this. I'm very excited. I don't think we're going to need that. The only real announcement that we need is going to be the toll-free number release to moi and my release of that number to everyone out there in the community. Okay? So that's what I think about announcements. When it comes to the gold standard, here at 2 o'clock in the afternoon Eastern time on Sunday, last Sunday, Bitcoin became gold-backed as well. And I thought, well, that's a tremendous thing to occur. And I don't know everything about Bitcoin, but I have a little bit of knowledge about it. And I thought that was a very positive thing. So I know that, I know it's gone up in value here in the last 24 hours, about $400. So that's another very positive thing. There's things happening out there. There are things happening, absolutely. And behind the scenes, more than you'd ever want to know. I'll tell you that. You don't want to know everything that's going on behind the scenes. I can tell you that. Because I will say this. I will say that the information that we will probably get in the next coming days to weeks will probably blow our mind in some ways, in some cases. That's all I can say about it. I will say that I hope that we're in a position for some of these platforms to start. I've heard about that. I've heard about them getting ready to start, and I think that they will. I think people that have been waiting to be paid and thinking that they were about to be paid, I believe they're about to be. And that may be in the process now of happening, including SKRs. including things like that or groups, that kind of a thing. All I can tell you guys is you're at the right place at the right time, and continue to stay patient for what is going to be the greatest transfer of wealth in the history of humankind. It really is. And you're, fortunate enough to be born in this time and be having been chosen to be part of this opportunity. It's mind-boggling what we're going to be able to do for the world, not only for ourselves and our families, but for the world. And that's why God brought a project to me, not only the veterans, yeah, he brought that to me, the concept of the Veterans Retreat Network and the Pastoral Retreat Network and our ministry and everything that we plan to do, but the concept of Rebuild America. I think I was the first to come up with that. And we've got some things happening in our government that are mirroring that exact concept with the Rebuilding America Act. And so there's activity out there that we are tied very closely to, and I think we'll partner with, probably, at least that's my intention, as we find out more about what the administration plans to do and what certain people plan to do with that program. We're not trying to do this with any government money, guys. We are not doing this with tax money. This is all privately supported. You know that. I know that. Anybody else out there won't know that unless they're told later. But, we plan to do what we're going to do because of the blessing, because the numbers are going to be large, very large. And we are going to have the wherewithal to make a difference in our cities. That's why we're trying to do this in 5,000 or more cities, towns, and communities across the country. And I think others will jump in and want to be part of it. I'm looking for 5,000 plus big call listeners to just say, yeah, I want to be part of that. I can do that. I know I'm going to take care of my family and take care of my personal thing and my home and cars and whatever. But, I want to do something with you guys. That's what I want to hear. I want to hear that. You're going to have the opportunity to do that. You're going to have the opportunity to choose the towns, cities, even communities that you want to help and make a difference in. And we're going to try to put a template out there for you guys to see how it is you can do that where you live or where you may not live, but maybe you want to live. All of that's coming. All of that's coming. It'll take us a little while to get up and running with that. Don't worry about that. But it'll take you a little while to get up and running with everything you need to do with this newfound wealth. We're going to all be working on it at the same time. Okay, so don't worry about it. Don't think you missed anything or that your town or city is not available. All of that, it's all ready. It's all available. Don't worry about it. Okay, you're going to be great. You're going to be fine. And I'm looking forward to that. I really am. I'm going to be hiring people to take these visions that we have as the big call, to take them and put these things together, make them happen, get the right leaders, hire the right teams of people, men and women, to take these visions and make them happen. I can't do it all by myself. You can't do it all by yourself. None of us can. But together, corporately, we're going to be hiring people. We're going to be hiring people to do the building out of all these projects. And we're going to be trying to get training going for the people that need to be trained to do this, like our veterans. Our veterans are going to be great partners with us in Rebuilding America, too. Think about it. We get to put veterans that may be coming back from war or from the theater out there, coming back and putting them to work in a cool area, which is, something maybe that might be their background. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. They may want some retraining. We'll have that available. We're going to have mentorship programs, okay, for kids, and we'll have, and for the youth, and we'll have apprenticeship programs, because we're going to have a lot of trades out there, guys, like electricians, plumbers, carpenters, bricklayers, masons, all of that, and many, many more that are going to need apprentices to help learn those trades. And they're going to be good paying jobs. And anybody that we hire or that we work with that's going to be doing this, they're going to get good pay. They're going to have decent jobs and be proud of the work that they're going to do. And we're going to see to that. So I'm excited. You can tell I'm excited about it. And I'm excited about where we are in the process, because every day I hear more and more about what is coming to make this thing come together for us. And, we don't call it. We can't call it. I know, roughly how close we are and the fact that we are right there. But, guys, the minute I try to say, it's going to be here by such and such a date, boom, I'm burning myself, and I don't want to do that. So I want you guys to know that I'm very excited. I'm still super excited about where we are. I'm still super ready for this to come through, and I'm ready for this, the toll-free numbers to come to me so that I can get that out to you guys very, very quickly, and you guys can call, set your appointments, and immediately change your lives. All right. That's it for tonight's call. I appreciate everybody listening again so faithfully. Thank you for listening again on this Tuesday.